Yeah. Your town nice. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Talk loud. Hardin Local got the whole town down. From Radcliff Rose to the E-Town Square. If it's going down, you'll hear it right here. Nate got the scoop when the business grow. Nate's business buzz, let the whole town know. New shop popping, yeah, the word gon' flow. Local grind strong, let the spotlight glow. Then J.O.B. with the weekend plans. Events in the county for the whole fam. Concerts, festivals, places to go. Circle that calendar so you don't miss the show. Stay in the Hardin County. Yeah. Rachel got the numbers when the market move. Housing update, let the data prove who's buying what and where things go. Smart move start when you stay in the know. Then the food talk hit when the mic get lit. Experience eater telling where to sit. New spot fire, yeah, we gotta go. Local plates hot, let the flavor show. Small town roots, but the vision big. Every local story with the gig. From the sports park lights to the downtown glow. Hardin Local on the mic, now the whole town knows. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Hardin Local. Let it ride. Head bopping local tonight. Hardin County on the vibe. From the news to the food to the city lights. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Go. Built it from nothing, now the whole town know. Found it with the plan and the mic in hand. Hardin Local roots all across the land. Sky on the cold host with the guns out flex. Sleeveless every season, what you gonna expect? Keep it real, keep it loud, keep the people fed. If the shirt got sleeves, then it's left on red. From the mic to the street, from the town to the show. Hardin Local on the beat. Yeah, the whole county know. Real stories, real folks. Every voice in the flow. Hardin County stand up. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Hardin Local. Let it ride. Head bopping local tonight. Ooh, let us ride. Hardin County.
Welcome, everyone, to Hardin Local Weekly Podcast. I'm Rachel Branningham, and we are so glad you're here with us today. We have a big one for you today. Top of the show, Phil and I are going to walk you through HardinLocal.com. I know I've mentioned our website a couple times. We're super excited. He has launched a brand new website that went live last Wednesday. It's the first real Hardin Local website we've had in years. We're going to share our screen and show exactly what's on it and how to use it. And the timing is on point. Today is the primary election day. Polls are open right now, and they stay open till 6 p.m. And the new website has every election interview we've recorded organized by race. So we'll show you that on the screen share, and Phil's going to walk you through the voting basics. We've also got a stacked Memorial Day weekend ahead, and the Gold Star Tribute Wall Traveling Memorial opens at the Elizabethtown Nature and Veterans Park on Friday. and runs all the way through Monday morning. John's got that, plus a packed weekend. We've got Shakespeare in the Park at Freeman Lake. We've got Ben Palmer, a comedy at Fort Knox. We've got the Reckless Strings at Social Food Hall, Super Saturday at the Fab Lab, and a biker bluegrass bash at the American Legion Post 113. I mean, guys, this is my favorite time of year, if I haven't mentioned. There's just something to be doing every single day. Of course, Nate is going to bring us the business buzz. Kroger Marketplace on Ring Road and Patriot Parkway now has a name, the Patriot Center at Cox Farm, plus a Target opening date and an in-person hiring event coming up. We've also got an update on a new health and beauty spot opening on Buford Lane, and the Bluegrass Meets Downtown move and Publix. So thanks, Nate. You're going to bring all that to us shortly. Britton and Michelle, our experienced eaters, are revisiting Little Charlie's Pizza today. They're calling it some of the best sandwiches in Hardin County. And they came back with 3, the buffalo chicken calzone, the chicken parm garlic knot, and a sub called the Reno that you have to see to believe. Plus, I will be bringing you guys the housing market update. The numbers, they're good this week. And we've got a Memorial Day icebreaker, so stick around. But first, let me introduce you to all of my amazing co-hosts. So I have Phil Tall. He is the founder of HardinLocal. I've got Scott Lucas. He is my co-host. I've got John O'Brien, who brings us all the events and happenings. And just so you guys know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. We are constantly gathering data throughout the week. John, I appreciate all the work you put in. Nate as well, Britton and Michelle, Scott, Phil, you guys work your hearts out for this. Nathaniel, of course, who goes by Nate, is going to be bringing us business news and updates. And I've got Britton and Michelle McDowell, who are the famous experienced eaters. So we're happy to have you guys a part of the show. And I, of course, am Rachel Brainingham. I'm your host, and I am your Hardin
Local.
Hardin. I, of course, to make sure. Oh, am I there again? Okay, perfect. I like to just make sure everybody how you guys can you hear me okay? Is everything working?
Yes, we can hear you good.
We're in a new space today, guys, so please forgive if there's some little bugs. We're hoping we have them all worked out, but you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So if you listen to podcasts on any specific platform, please follow us there. You can also, of course, find all the links that we talk about today, as well as in past episodes at HardinLocal.com. And we're going to talk more about that website and kind of show you around so that you understand it. And there's a full link tree with all of our personal social channels on there as well, because you want to follow each of us independently as well. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, our complete election interview library is organized by race. There's been a lot of conversations, especially recently, about who you're going to vote for today. And if you have any confusion and just want to freshen up how you feel about a specific candidate, make sure you go there. That's the place to see their comments and their stance on certain political issues. Of course, follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you're watching right now on Facebook, hit the follow button. Drop your comments, questions, events, or business tips in the chat, because we love hearing from you. We try to bring those comments up in real time, and we try to interact with you guys who are following. We really appreciate that interaction. It makes it fun for us. All right, guys, before we dig in, today's show is brought to you by Tektel. Phil, this is the second week in a row. I want you to talk a little bit about what Tektel has to offer.
Yes. Full disclosure, I am a partner at Tektel. It's my day job. When I'm not doing this, there's some of my other AI projects that I work on. So I've got skin in the game here. I'll keep it short and honest. Tektel's an Elizabethtown business tech company. And there are 2 things we do that I want local business owners watching this to know about. One, cybersecurity for small business. That means multi-factor logins, email, inbox protection, backups, all the things you really don't want to have to worry about that are getting worse because of AI. That stuff, that stops. We help stop the phishing emails, the stolen passwords, losing access. I mean, we don't put a complete stop to it, but we actually develop a framework that makes it a lot harder for you to lose access to that important information that you need to run your business every day. We manage it, we monitor it, and we explain it in plain English. You don't have to have in-house IT department either. 2 is our cloud voice with an AI, analytics, and receptionist option. Your business phone system in the cloud we also have options where you can have an AI. You don't have to have an AI built into it. We do like to use our AI tools to transcribe all of our phone calls because it makes it really easy for us to keep up with all of our customers that way. And we can just search through the transcripts and find what was said and what wasn't said. It's really nice. And it also helps with after hours. So you can stop missing customers, stop dropping the ball, because you can let these computer systems, even if you're not a big AI fan of AI, you can still let it transcribe things for you and help you stay more organized. If either of those gave you I should look into that, check out our website at tektel.net or call or text me directly, 270-505-8002. Again, that's 270-505-8002. Call or text Phil. And that's all I got for you guys.
And real quickly, I can confirm what Phil's said. I work on another spectrum of tech, and I see DDoS attacks. I see phishing attempts, social engineering. So if you're a local business with brick and mortar and you want to protect it, you need to get some type of cybersecurity package. So
I was going to echo the same thing, Scott, so thank you. All right, guys. Well, first up, I've got something we've been waiting a long time to share. So before we get to anything else today, Phil and I have to show you something. So I know I've been bragging on HardinLocal.com already, but then Phil has revamped the website, and it is officially our very first and only standalone website with all of the content that we talk about every single week. So it went live last Wednesday, May 14th. It's the first time in 7 years that Hardin Local has its own home on the web. For the entire run of this podcast, everything was live on Facebook, YouTube, and Linktree page. As of last week, that has changed. So Phil, why don't you walk us through this?
Yes. Let me find my place in the notes. All right, so I got the screen share up here. And this is the home page, which it'll change frequently. Like right now, we're focusing on the Hardin County primary election coverage because the primary is today. So it's up there where you can click here to find your ballot. But let me go off script here because then I'll talk about this for way too long. So let's walk through it. So what you're looking right now is HardinLocal.com. So you can get to it by just typing in HardinLocal.com. This is the home page. A few things to point out. We have our header and our notifications. On mobile, it'll look different. It'll have a little mobile button up here. But even on desktop, if your screen's not huge, you can click here to find the rest of the menu. And our latest podcast episodes will always be featured in podcast page, where you can go there and you can just look. It's sorted by week. You can go find whatever you want there. And then also on the homepage, we'll have it featured on the top. Like this is last week's. Right now we have this one that you're watching right now. It's right there. Makes it real easy. You can also click on our happenings this week in the housing market info. Also watch on Facebook, watch on YouTube, wherever you want to watch it live. We have our weekly's article hub as well. So every Tuesday night or Wednesday morning when I get all the videos edited, now we're having all that content created into articles. So right here, this was last week's. If you click watch this episode, it's going to take you to a page that has where you can watch the edited version of the video. If you're not a big video watcher, you can also just read everything that we talked about in here. This pretty much talks about everything, and it will continue to be that way. I have all of our live streams transcribed, and we're able to then use the transcriptions to create these articles, which you can also then go and check out other segments too, and click to go just watch those segment videos. And we have episode highlights, and there's just going to be a lot of cool information on here. The one main thing that I want to make clear about this page is, like, starting this week, if you click on this and you haven't subscribed for free, you won't be able to see the page. In order to see the page, the recent pages, you'll have to click sign up, give us your name and your email. It'll send you an email. You just create yourself a free password. Then you can see everything on the site. We're not putting a paywall up or anything like that. Just helps us to be able to monetize our audience a little bit better, and helps us to be able to send you a newsletter every week too that'll have this data in it too, so you don't have to come look for it. So let's see. I know I went off script there, but I
I
wanted to
think
show you guys. Go ahead.
I want you to click on election interviews specifically
Oh
because
yeah,
the
let's
polls
do
are
that.
open right now. Why don't
Let's
you
click
show
on
us
that.
there?
All right, let's do that. So basically what you can do here is you can click find your ballot, or you can click on elections up here. But if you click find your ballot, it's going to take you straight to this page, where if you know your district or precinct, you can click on it. Like, let's just say you're in Cecilia and it's a primary, you're voting Republican. Let's say, see my ballot. So it's going to take you here. It's going to show you all this extra information. Plus, I made a little map that has all the voting locations, because you can go to any of these 15 ones. Once you get down there, or if you already know all that information, you don't care about that, you can just hit jump to the races. And so this is segmented out the videos we've made just by what you'll see on your ballot. So this one will show like the three different people that we did interviews. We did 2 of them, and it'll show you the videos. So you can they're shorter videos, but they still take like 10, 15 minutes, but you can watch them, and you can, if you don't know who you're going to vote for, then you can check that out and decide. We also have, sheriff, you have both options there, PVA administrator, just whatever's on your ballot. So that's the easier ways to find who you want
Phil,
to vote for.
I mean, honestly, I'm completely blown away by that. Like, because I haven't gone to vote yet. I've been fielding phone calls from family and friends talking about who it is I'm voting for, but there's a couple races that I'm still torn between. And you better believe the minute I get off this podcast, that's where I'm going to go, because that's super cool, because I can look at exactly who is in my voting ballot and then look at their videos side by side and kind of get a key on how they stand on the same political agendas. Very, very interesting. Incredible work.
So, well, thanks. Yeah, and that's how that works. So we have, and then if you don't know what your district is, you can just come out here and you can look at some of these other races. If you know you're voting for a race, magistrate 2, 3, whatever, you go there and look it up, or you can find it directly. But we'll go back to the homepage, and from here you can go back to the homepage. And so that's the election interview library. We hope you take time to look at that today. Once the primary is done, I'll have it converted to the general election. So we'll put all the winners up, and then we'll give people that we haven't interviewed yet a chance that are in the general to be interviewed as well before the general election. Now, as far as articles and past episodes, you can browse those by topic. You can also search by business name. So say, some of it's not in there. I've only backfilled 10 weeks of data, but you can type stuff in if there's something specific you're looking at, like Domino's on Publix, and it'll pull up a post. It's one of Nate's Business Buzz posts. And not only can you watch the segment of his video, you can also read everything in the summary of what he said, as well as a full article if you're that interested in that topic. So over the next few weeks, I'll backfill all of our past year-long episodes. And I really wanted to take a few other minutes, and also not a few minutes, but I'm trying to wrap it up real quick. Like I say, podcast is where you go to find like all the different podcasts that we've done. We have the last 10 on here. And then the big one I want to push is subscribe, which is big because we want to get your guys' email address so we can send you a weekly newsletter every week when we put the content out. And if you've already filled this out, you'll have an email where you can go to sign in. You can just, if you didn't get the email, you can just put your email address in there if you've already signed up, and then it'll prompt you to maybe set a password or something like that. So, which for the next week or so, I'll try to keep that wall down so you can get and see it. But that's pretty much what I want to talk about. The email newsletter is going to be pretty cool. I think it'll keep it to where, Facebook's algorithms and some of these other things that always try to tell you what you can see and what you can't see. This will take that away, where you'll be able to see it yourself, whatever you want, whenever you want.
Awesome. I'm nerding out about it. I'm super excited. So that's HardinLocal.com, guys, in a nutshell. Obviously, there's lots more to explore there, of course, with events, calendars, housing market updates, restaurant reviews. I mean, it's all there. So you're going to want to go there and click on it. That Hardin County housing market dashboard, I've been referring that out to clients so they can kind of watch the trends that are occurring here. That's all available to you at HardinLocal.com. So sign up for the newsletter, bookmark it, send it to a friend. That's how you make sure that you never miss what we cover, regardless of what Facebook decides to show on that day, because none of us trust the Facebook algorithms. Okay.
Yes. And
No,
one
I
quick thank you.
websites,
Building this
blogs.
took, oh,
Sorry.
1 second, Scott. Building this took a lot of late nights. If anybody at home wants to know what's actually under the hood, it's open source Ghost, not like which, some people are nerd out on that stuff. And it's actually on my own server. I've created my own theme and our email system that we're trying to use to make sure you don't get spammed and make sure you actually get it delivered. So we're not using any of these like third-party things. So I'm pretty excited about it.
That's awesome. Scott, did you want to cover something?
No, I'm just going to recommend Phil. I was a fellow web designer. I've built thousands of websites, funnels, and blogs. And what you've done here with AI, I mean, the possibilities to create a website with AI is just, so you've done a great job.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it's cool now. Now, whenever I'm working on our pre and post production stuff, it automatically gets fed into it too.
Yeah.
Like it gets
like
all
a rabbit.
edited for us.
Yep.
So I don't have to go in there and do it myself manually.
Well, Phil, there's a second big story today, and it's why some of the stuff you just showed us is so timely. Of course, we've got election day today. So, Phil, walk us through the polls. And let's start with the big one. Today is the primary election day in Hardin County and across Kentucky. The polls, they're open right now, and they stay open until 6 p.m. tonight. If you haven't voted yet and you're registered, you've still got time. I will be doing that this afternoon. So, Phil, you want to walk us through some quick reminders of logistics?
Yeah, just make sure in Hardin County, it's voter center model. So you can go to any of the vote centers. There's 15 of them. You can find them on that HardinLocal.com election site. You can go to the Kentucky Secretary of State election site, or you can go to the Hardin County government election site too. You got multiple options. Make sure you bring a photo ID, and if you want to walk in knowing who's on your ballot, we have all that up there. We just showed you where it's at if you're not real sure who to vote for. And also, if you don't have time to watch the videos and to figure it out, and you're kind of like, oh, I just don't want to go in there and vote for anybody. I found that AI works really good. If there's specific questions you have, you can use whatever your favorite AI is and see these are the things that are important to me, and then mention the race, and they can go up and look the information up for you and at least give you a better choice than just guessing at it. Because I know sometimes we're all so busy, it's hard. But the polls are open, until 6 p.m. So if you show up by 6 p.m., you'll be allowed to vote, even if there's a line in front of you. That's usually the rule. If you get in line by 6, you get to vote. If you've already filled out a mail-in ballot and it's still sitting on your kitchen counter, do not mail it. Mail is not going to get it there in time. Walk it into the Hardin County Clerk's office at 150 North Provident Way in Elizabethtown. There's a secure drop box at that entrance. Oh, and I also think there's another one at the Radcliff branch at the clerk's office at 101 West Lincoln Trail Blvd. But you've got to get that thing in there before 6 p.m. or it's not going to count. And a postmark does not count either. If you need a voter center near you, like I said, you can find that on HardinLocal.com or on the county clerk's website. And if you have a last minute question that you really don't know the answer to and you really want it, then it's going to keep you from not voting if you don't get the question answered, I highly encourage you to call the Hardin County Clerk's office at 270-765-6762 to get that question answered. That's 270-765-6762. And one more thing, you cannot post photos of your marked ballot in Kentucky, apparently. So selfies in front of the voting center are totally fine. Selfies of your filled in ballot, I guess that's against the law, apparently. I don't know. But don't get sideways with that. The I voted sticker is the photo, even though now they're doing the wristbands, I think, aren't they?
No, I'm excited about that. So make sure you vote today. Take the kiddos. I'm going to be taking mine. And if you've already voted, thank you. And I want to just say a special thank you to all the poll workers who are out, working the polls today. As you walk past them, make sure you say thank you for them giving up their time. Phil, anything else while we're on this topic, announcement-wise?
Not that I can think of, other than Memorial Day weekend. But that's
Perfect.
fine.
Well, I'm gonna jump into that. So one more thing before we move on. Friday kicks off Memorial Day weekend. I know my team is all excited. And right at the front of the weekend, the Gold Star Tribute Wall, which is a traveling memorial, is going to be set up at the Elizabethtown Nature and Veterans Park. It's from Friday at 4 p.m. and it'll remain there until Monday morning at 11 a.m. It's a free public event honoring Gold Star families, the families of service members killed in the line of duty, and it's hosted by Cameron Ponder, VFW Post 12237. If you've never been to one of these traveling walls, they're not crowded, they're not loud, and they hit differently. I would highly recommend you go, you pay your respects. It's a quiet hour of your weekend that it just hits differently. It's just a moment to honor those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I would highly recommend that you make time to go to that. Once again, Friday from 4 p.m. till Monday morning at 11 a.m. It's at the Elizabethtown Nature and Veterans Park. All right, gentlemen, we're going to jump into our icebreaker time. And since it's Memorial Day weekend, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of leaning a little bit more personal with this one. Obviously, Memorial Day weekend, it's a time to honor the men and women who have died while serving our country. And so my question for you is, what's a Memorial Day tradition you grew up with or a person that you'll be thinking about this weekend?
I know that we always had family, especially when I was younger, and both my grandparents served. We always did more family events, and I tend to think about them. Those were the last people in my family that served, and they luckily survived their service. But that's pretty much what I do.
First person comes to my mind with Memorial Day is my stepfather. He was a Vietnam War vet. He was in my life for 5 years. He taught me basically how to survive as a child. If we were out in the wilderness, fishing, hunting, young age. But that's what he left me with and taught me a little bit about keto. So this is always that weekend where I remember him, the impact he did. Even if it was for 5 years, he still had an impact.
Both my grandparents served and my father did as well. He always said you got to have a hot dog on Memorial Day. That was his big thing. So I always have a hot dog on Memorial Day. That's one thing.
Hot dog or corn dog?
I have a lot of family members that have served. And so one of the traditions we always had growing up is we'd always go up to Ohio where we had a family cabin and we'd spend time with all the cousins, and it kind of kicked off the summer in our minds. And it was always, we never had a Memorial Day without a cookout and an ice cream cone. So all of us little kids would end up with ice cream all the way down the fronts of us. And so we have a lot of pictures of us all gathered. But, it was I want to create these traditions with my kids, that it's not just a kickoff to summer, pools are opening, the boats are coming out of storage. I also want it to be a time where we stop and we have a conversation about what true sacrifice looks like. And the men and women who gave, and even those that have lost loved ones and their sacrifice. So, it's a very important holiday, and I think sometimes it can get lost in the mix of, it's the kickoff to summer and kind of the excitement around that, but the sobriety that has to come with it as well, and the time it takes to slow down and kind of think through those people and what they've done for us and our freedom. Nate, Britt, you guys got anything to add to the conversation?
In a past life, we would always go to Colesburg and play badminton and wiffle ball and kickball and all sorts of stuff with the family. Once I started working for the News and Enterprise, as Brent knows, high school baseball, softball, regional tournaments used to always be on Memorial Day. So that was a long day of working. And now that I'm with my other company, it's a work day for us. So I've spent many Memorial Days working.
Well, growing up down at Kentucky Lake, Memorial Day was it was the kickoff of everything for the summer down there. The tourist season and everything else. But with us having several military members, veterans in the family, it was always a day where when we were able to get together, we would do that and be thankful for those in our family that were able to serve, and came home. But then also just it really kind of set the tone for the community for the summer for us.
Well, awesome. Well, audience, we want to hear your comments. Give us a name, a tradition, a story, whatever you've got. Of course, we'll read those in the closing segment, but what does Memorial Day mean to you? What are the memories that kind of encompass this holiday? I'm excited to make some new memories with my kids this year. So, all right, Sean.
We had a quick comment from Lewis.
Yeah.
And he may be right because I don't know where I'm assuming my AI found that information about the ballot not being able to take a picture of your ballot. Now I'm thinking it's probably not the best idea to take a picture while you're in there during the ballot because there's so many people standing around there. But that's kind of what he's saying, as long as the other people's faces aren't in there. But we're going to look into that a little more because that's something worth me spending some time digging into to figure out what the actual rules are. But yeah, just thought I'd pull that up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lewis. And
All
also,
right.
I wanted to change the order real quick. I wanted to, because Nate probably has to go to work at 2. So I wanted to do John and Nate back to back. And then we'll put your housing after the
That's fine.
event.
Nate, do you need to go first, or John? Does it matter?
John can go first.
Okay. All right, John. Well, we're going to let you go first today. So, John, what's on the Hardin County calendar between now and Memorial Day? I can only imagine it's going to be a heavy weekend. So, fill us in.
We gotta all be up during the jingle, don't we?
Where you gotta be? Events all week in Hardin County. J.O.B. Where you gotta be? Come on, turn it up, tune it, Hardin County.
All right. Yeah. So busy. First off, right there, election day, primary election day. Got till 6 p.m. Make sure that you get out and get your vote counted. Your vote counts. Make sure you make it count. Also, we have the Peddling Points Elizabethtown tour stop number 49, Tuesday evening. Flaherty Bar and Grill, 6:30. They have a Southpaw Challenge at 7:30. They have a blind draw. They have a benefit tournament supporting the Dystonia Medical Research Foundation. Includes a 50-50 raffle, highest score wins, and Peddling Points shirt you get. That's pretty cool. Also, a community garden volunteer night tonight, 5 6 p.m. at the community garden, hosted out of the United Way down here on Main Street, downtown. Garden bed prep and cleanup work. So it's the hard work time. So if you want to help kind of dig in and you like to get your hands dirty, come help out at the community garden. I know I did that a couple years ago. Had a little plot for myself. It was a fun time. Planted some peppers and some tomatoes and cucumbers. It was a fun little summer project. I also have Boombox Bingo, the Rock Night out at Cosmic Golf tonight, 6:30 p.m. Free to play out at Cosmic Golf. Got Teddy out there helping you out with that. It's a fun event. Make sure you enjoy it. Tomorrow, we've got some free yoga at the farmer's market, 9 a.m. Morning yoga, Phil. Come on, get on out there. I'll meet you there if you want to. It'd be a fun time. And also, free yoga class is always fun to do. It can be costly sometimes. So if you're trying to get into it and figure out if it's something you like, this is the time to do it. They've got a family night of Lilo and Stitch at 4 p.m. at the Barr Memorial Library in Fort Knox. Free family movie. Real ID is required because you got to get on Fort Knox. But other than that, you are good to go. Bean Cove has its first ever trivia night at 7 p.m. up in Radcliff. Half price drinks during the event. Prizes for first, second, and third. There's a paint and sip at the Water's Edge. It's going to be butterflies from 6:30 to 8:30. It costs $35 to get your whole canvas and all the paint and everything, and the teaching to paint a butterfly. Thursday, composting workshop. If you don't know what that is, it's all about worms. I got a buddy who used to have a worm farm in Upton, and that was a wild thing. It was down in his basement. So this is something that kind of teach you how to turn kitchen scraps into nutrient-rich compost. That's 12 p.m. on Thursday at the Hardin County Public Library. Trivia night at the Sam Adams Brew House in Fort Knox, 6:30 to 8. Again, real ID required. Live music on Friday at the Straight and Narrow. It's Josh Brown doing that solo piano gig. He's up front. So, again, it takes a little bit of room up there. So, make sure you get your reservation in there. Ben Palmer will be up at the Saber and Quill doing a little comedy. Doors are 6:30. Show is at 7:30. It's $10 in advance, $15 at the door. But if you're looking for something free and kid friendly, they got it popping at the Freeman Lake Park. They're doing the Tempest. So Kentucky Shakespeare is roaming through. It's 80 minutes long, no intermission. It's free, no tickets required. If it rains, they're going to be at the Historic State Theater. So hopefully it doesn't rain. Hopefully it's beautiful out there and you can enjoy some Shakespeare in the park. And also, Friday is when that Gold Star Tribute Wall opens up. We talked about that earlier. 4 p.m. is when it starts at the E-Town Nature and Veterans Park. Live music will be Gracie Yates out at Cosmic Golf if you're looking for that good music. And Brock Burton will be with her. I've seen her multiple times at the Tavern in the Garden. Outstanding. So she will be playing at 8 p.m. Saturday. Some more free yoga at the farmers market, 9 a.m. Again, Phil, whenever you want to. Super Saturday at the Fab Lab from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's a public all ages event, food trucks, demos, classes, giveaway, door prizes. They're going to have some Zumba, Pilates, buff body aerobics and strength kind of demonstrations. Also, there'll be Firefly Nutrition there to give you some tasty beverages. Biker Bluegrass Bash is riding the bluegrass, starts at 10 a.m. American Legion Post 113 out on Ring Road. It's a fun little time. It's going to have a bike show, prizes for best in show, vendors, food, drinks. If you love biking, if you love looking at motorcycles, take the kids out, let them check it out. It's all ages. Fort Knox Water Park, it has its opening day as well, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a seasonal opening, so it's going to be open. But again, on Fort Knox, so you got to have that real ID if you're going to get up there and drive those kids up there. The Reckless String Band will be playing live at Social Food Hall, 6 p.m. It was a fun time. And if you don't like them, come on over to Bittersweet, playing at Bourbon Barrel Tavern, 8 p.m. to midnight. They are coming back. They haven't been here for a little while, but they are coming back. Monday, we have the Fort Knox Memorial Day ceremony at 11:30 a.m. It's Kentucky Veterans Cemetery Central in Radcliff. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. is when visitations are open. It's free to the public. There'll be a 21-gun salute, wreath laying, and play taps. Also, the tribute wall closes that day, so 11 a.m. Something to check out. And one thing to add on there that I'd forgotten about, which has been a tradition. You know, I may be the corn dog king, but over at Flywheel, they've got the Glizzy Guru, Landon Bagley. He's been throwing a hot dog throwdown on Memorial Day for years, and he'll be cooking up hot dogs from noon to 6. So he's got the grill out. You guys I'll be there before I got to work. I got to get a dog, and that's where I'm going to get my dog at. If it's not a corn dog, it's going to be a hot dog.
J.O.B. where you gotta be. Vince all weekend, Hardin County. J.O.B. where you gotta be. Come on, turn it up, tune it, Hardin County.
What a packed weekend. I'm super excited. So I'm going to be judging at the Biker Bluegrass Bash. So I'm super excited. I will be out there on Saturday. Yep. I'm trying to find some chaps. I feel like I need to dress the part. Okay. And then I did want a couple things. I think there's a lot of kids that are finishing up school this week. I know my kids will be out as of Friday. So I think everybody's super excited. I'm feeling the energy. So congrats to all of you kiddos that are finishing out the school year. And I know that next week there are several big graduations. And so as a lot of our graduates, specifically Gabby, my nanny, I just want to tell you congratulations. So what a big Memorial Day weekend we are headed into. It's one of those weekends with a lot of options, and really at every price point. If someone's got a whole weekend open, John, what's the move? What's the one thing they shouldn't miss that the locals here do every single year?
He'll get it.
We'll wait for you. Don't
There
worry.
we
You're
go. Yeah, technical difficulties. I really think that it's not every year I've seen it, but that Shakespeare in the Park sounds like a fun time. I really and to get a little bit of that doesn't necessarily get seen a lot. Some Shakespeare would be really cool to check out, and maybe get people into reading some other plays and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And of course, tell us a little bit about Super Saturday. Nate, actually, I think I'm copying over yours, so I apologize. Tell us a little bit about Super Saturday at the Fab Lab at Mulberry Square. That's a Saturday morning anchor for a lot of Hardin County folks. What makes that a one-stop, like regular thing for most people?
I mean, it's fun for the kids, fun for the family. Drinks, food there, and you get maybe a little fit too. You learn how you can to work out a little bit.
Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome.
All
And
right.
did Scott jump off?
Yeah, he dropped.
Okay,
He may be back, but we can just move on because I know we're a little behind with
perfect.
and
All
I think
right,
Nate's got quite a bit to
Nate.
talk about.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you. All right, let's run
Thank you
Nate's
all.
little jingle here.
If business is buzzing in town, Nate already knows it's Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah, Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, what do you got for us this week?
Well, since I was in Florida for last week and part of this week, some people beat me to this, but I think Bustin' Bites was one of the first people that took the picture of it. Trisha Stewart got one. Samantha, I think her name's Samantha Brightner, got one too. Kroger Marketplace, if you've been out on Patriot Parkway, the sign is up. It is very big. It's very blue, and it's also called Patriot Center at Cox Farm. I had not really seen that in too many announcements about the thing, but that's what it's going to be called. The sign already has some of what's going to have. If you tell, there's the green pricing. It's currently so zero. We're not getting gas for free, but it does mean that it does have diesel. People have asked. You'll see the green sign by the fuel center. You'll see the green sign on the welcome sign, I guess you want to call it, road sign, but they do definitely have diesel. They will have wine and spirits. I have been told the wine and spirits at Town Drive will close to allow this Kroger to have a license because they weren't able to get both, so they had to move one. But I also was thinking that's going to help the other Kroger expand, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Plus, you still have the one at Dolphin Drive. I have been told that the wine and spirits at Town Drive will close, and then so they can have theirs. Definitely has a Starbucks is inside, not separately. Little clinic, pharmacy, and Kroger pickup. Somebody asked if they were have a banking branch. I had not seen one yet. I have not seen any announcements about that. But I haven't been to too many. I mean, Phil, I'm sure in Louisville you go to the Kroger marketplaces. Do they have banking branches at those?
I don't know. I know I guess I've never paid attention, to be honest.
But I haven't been in one in such a long time because don't really need to go up there, so I can't remember. Also, they are doing an in-person hiring event next Saturday, so the 30th, not Memorial Saturday, from 10 to 6 at Dolphin Drive. But it will be hiring for Kroger 3, Kroger Supermarket, Kroger Marketplace, Patriot Drive, whatever you want to call it. There will be a hiring date for that. So, sticking with grocery, because why not? I have been told by a little birdie who I trust that although while it still says November on Columbia Properties, Publix will actually be opening on Thursday, September 17th. Again, this is coming from a source who explained why it was happening, and I definitely believe them for that. And I mean, I think based on September looks fine to me. I mean, I've been out there, drove by it last night. I think September looks plausible. I mean, I think it looks possible, but November seems like an awfully long time away. But I think they could be open by September. Reminder: Kroger is July 9th, and then this will be Thursday, September 17th. Again, not official. They have not announced it. It's just what my sources are telling me. Buford Lane. If you don't know where Buford Lane is, turn at TSC Offering Road. It's behind there. You can also get to it from Woodland. Sometimes where I get to it. You have that new building. Neil Atcher's out there. On the far right side is ANU, ANU, A New Face, Mind, and Body. They will be opening next week, so Tuesday, May 26th. They call themselves where integrative medicine meets aesthetics. It's in the right corner. They do have a Facebook page that you can find, and they're on the right side of that. So you got Neil Atcher in the middle, them on the right. On the left side, which I've been asked about, that's one of our 5 or 6 coffee places coming. Sweet Spot Donuts and Coffee. They are still in build-out mode, unfortunately. They're still waiting on full build-out. They said a few months out, concrete is poured, but waiting on walls and kitchen installs. Brett, as someone who's been in the restaurant a few months out from a build-out, does that seem? No, that's what they told me, so it seems logical to me.
Yeah, once they get the baseline done, the build done, then they have to bring in the equipment. Then everything you have to have your inspections, and then you got your training. So I mean, if you can do that in 2 months' time, you're really cooking. But I mean, but a lot of places too, they'll have all their equipment and everything ready to go in. So that as the build out's finished, you hood, all those things come together.
And we were talking about barbecue off camera. Speaking with barbecue, Bluegrass Meats, they are moving from their spot near St. John Corner, Firestone, Roses. They're over in that spot. They're that green or that gray and blue building. They are moving downtown to the old former Dairy Queen where Dee's Butts used to be. Not Dee's Butts, but the ABC Food Gulf Coast Connection. So ABC Food Gulf Coast Connection took over where a barbecue restaurant used to be, and now a barbecue restaurant's going to where ABC Food used to be. So it's basically a trade. It will be a lot bigger. I connected with Tommy Barney. He said a grease trap is now installed, which is huge, as they would know downtown. They had to replace the sewer line, which it's an old building. I'm not shocked. But they said that should be completed in the next few days, and their target opening is the second week of June. So about, I'd say, 3 weeks, we're going to have barbecue downtown, which is currently something that not offer downtown. That's all I've got for now, but I do have a couple things probably next week.
Awesome. Well, Nate, the Patriot Center at Cox Farms, the name is locked in, and we now know the anchor lineups. We've got Kroger Marketplace, Wine and Spirits. We've got a Starbucks, the Little Clinic, of course, a pharmacy, Kroger pickup in a fuel center with diesel. From the real estate side, what does an anchor like that do to the other lots around Ring Road and Patriot Parkway? And is there a second wave development coming behind it that you know of?
I definitely think so, because none of the outlets have been named. I mean, we keep on hearing the rumor about Raising Cane's. I would bet dollars to donuts some restaurant chain moves out there. I think we'd be shocked if they have at least 4 outlet openings. I think it's 6. I think it's 4 on Patriot side and 2 on the Ring Road side. You can tell by they have the open spots on the sign, so they're banking on somebody's coming. I do not have any intel yet. I have not seen anything. But there is Planning Commission. I think it's supposed to be meeting next week, so Friday there may be a release there. But I have seen nothing. At least with Publix, we know that the Human Bean is one of the 4. We also know that one of the 4 is already taken by somebody. So they have 2 openings that may be still for release. One's already been spoken for. Plus, we know the Human Bean's the coffee one. But I'm thinking everything from a restaurant, either fast food or sit down, could be something else that we already have. I mean, or it could be somebody brand new coming. But I would think definitely more stuff's on the way. Plus, there's so much land built opening to the side. Looks like there's stuff on the back side. So nothing else has been announced for that. But I would think there's a lot more on the way. I mean, and we saw it with when Walmart, for us, had been here for a while with the gray hair. When Walmart showed up, it was bam, 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 2, 3, 4 right in a row.
Yeah. I think it's an excellent
Raisin Cane would
location.
be delicious.
I'm sure people would want the Raising Cane's. I bet it wouldn't shock me if Chipotle moved out there. I mean, I'm not saying this is happening, but I would say that would be like a logical decision. We were like, yeah, that makes sense. People mentioned Chipotle, people mentioned Raising Cane's, and various burger places from Whataburger or whoever, Cookout's a popular name that keeps on getting mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see, again, you've got maybe another Arby's, because we really don't have an Arby's over on that side of town at all. There's not a KFC on that side of town at all. So it wouldn't shock me if somebody else decides, hey, we're just going to expand what we already have here too. So
What about the Publix thing, Nate? I know, like in the past, when we announce things, we try to be pretty clear, especially with our editorial policy about announcing this is not like confirmed. This is just what we've heard. So how's the way you want that framed on air? Sources are saying it, no public confirmation.
right, sources are saying it because they're.
When do you know when they might make it official, or we just want to make sure everybody knows we don't. This isn't official. We're just saying we've heard that it probably opens.
Correct, but I don't know when they'll make it official, because that website has said so many times. And they kept on changing it every time even when they announced that Firehouse in Killings was coming. We know Firehouse is coming. They've said it. We know Killings is coming. They've said it. And then they took it off their webpage. So I'm not sure if we're going to get an official announcement, unless it's going to come from Publix itself and not the developer. Okay. But obviously we haven't seen a public sign up yet. But Kroger's went up pretty quick. Like once Kroger started putting up signs, all that stuff went up pretty. So I don't think that's a long process, I wouldn't think. But this is just coming from somebody who would be dealing with them, is that they know that this is the day, because this is the date that they have in the email.
Scott had sent me a message. He dropped off. He had something he had to do that he forgot about, but he said he was wondering about, how's it say, ANU Face Mind Body opening? A new Mind Body opening next weekend on Buford Lane, and Sweet Spots Donuts still a few months out next
Correct.
door. For folks who don't drive Buford Lane regularly, what's the corridor turning into, and what other businesses are over there?
There are apartments I know of, apartments or condos that are over in that area. I never really considered it, once you got past TSC, to be a business or commercial area. I considered it residential. So outside of that, and right behind TSC, I'm not know of any other businesses. Unless there's like a medical doctor's office or something like that. But as far as actual restaurants, shopping, whatever, none that I know of.
Well, awesome. Well, lots of growth happening in Hardin County.
Yeah, Nate's business buzz.
Buzz. I love your jingle. Thank you, Nate. I just wanted to say thank you. Your ability to keep up with what's happening. Like anytime I have, if I know a listing that's going to be coming commercially, I'm like, I need to call Nate and see what's going on that side of town, right? To help understand its value and the impact. So we appreciate the time you invest to keep us in the know. So, all right, guys, we're going to backtrack a little bit. I know Nate and John are probably dropping off here. Make sure you go and vote. That's what John's trying to tell you.
Vote.
And I'm going to circle back, and we're going to run through our housing market update. And then up next, we've got Britt, who's going to walk us through our experienced either segment.
All right.
Rachel's got the numbers, who's buying, who's selling, what's hot on the block. Hardin County housing market update. Hey!
All right, guys. Well, as you know, I'm Rachel Branningham, and I am here with your Hardin Local Housing and Economic Update for Elizabethtown and Hardin County. So markets are driven by the housing market. So you can understand a lot of what's happening in our local economy by keeping a close eye on the housing market. I'm super excited to tell you guys that the housing market is very strong in our area. I'm very impressed that the numbers we're seeing of the numbers that we're seeing. I've got some news that I'll share a little bit that kind of indicate a potential slowdown. We'll be measuring that cautiously and carefully and bringing that information to you. But let's just kind of run through this today. The market is not slow right now. I hear comments from time to time like, oh, but there's a house in my neighborhood with a sign in the yard. That is market wide, but this is market wide. What we're measuring here today, I'm going to run through these numbers. So we had 40 new listings that came on the market this week. 34 homes went pending. That's a high number, actually. As I measured it over the last several months, that's one of the higher weeks that we've seen. 21 families moved into their new homes. This is a cool metric here. We have dropped again on average days on market. So what I measure is over the last 30 days, Hardin County wide. Of course, I'm pulling all the information from the Heart of Kentucky Association of Realtors, MLS, but we have declined down to 72 days on market. We were 74 last week, continuing to see that downward trend of moving to 72. So here's a great stat that Phil has put together for us. It says average days on market. You can see where we were at the beginning of the year, and we have trended down 23 days in total year to date. It's a massive increase in speed on the market. I don't have a crystal ball, but as I'm talking to sellers about when they should list their property, right now does indicate as one of the strongest sellers markets we've seen in a considerable amount of time. So if I were to sell my personal home, I would look to place it on the market right now. We currently have 377 active homes on the market, with 111 homes sold over the last 30 days. What that tells us is that we have 3.4 months of inventory. As I've mentioned over and over, anything over a 5 indicates a buyer's market. Anything under a 5 indicates a seller's market. So we are strongly in a seller's market. Inventory has increased modestly over the last several weeks, but remains historically constrained relative to demand. This is creating a market that continues to favor sellers overall, while also becoming increasingly strategic and segmented by price point. So talking a little bit about average list price. So our average list price right now is $361,948. That actually trended up slightly in comparison to last week. The average sold price, $327,222. That gap right there of $34,726, that's actually trended tighter. I know at first glance you might think, oh my gosh, people are really not getting what they're listing for. That gap is actually dramatically closed in. I think that gap is specifically affected by a lot of the higher priced homes where we are seeing very aggressive offers still coming in, or seeing people take less, usually because they have a lot more equity in their home. They've held them longer, etc. So just keep in mind at these lower price points, we aren't seeing that big of a gap. That list to sold gap is a lot tighter. So I broke this down into, thanks, Phil. This kind of shows the trend here. There's a little bit of data that's probably skewed here, but back in March, we saw a much bigger gap. And as you can see here, this gap is narrowing as we've moved further into the year. And so that kind of speaks to the fact that sellers are getting closer to value as we move forward into the market of this year. I want to talk a little bit about one thing that I expect to create some adjustment to what we're currently seeing as far as momentum. So interest rates jumped. Conventional went up to around a 6.75 with good credit. You could expect a 6.99 without. USDA, VA, FHA, they're around 6.25. So those are a little elevated, especially since over the last few weeks we've been down. USDA, FHA, VA, we're seeing in the 5s, and then conventionals we're seeing in the low 6s. I'm going to continue to measure what that does to our market over the next few weeks. I'm hoping we're not seeing any evidence that that's going to slow down our market. People are always, there's births and there's life changes, and so there's always people looking to buy and sell, and we still have military that is moving into the area. So my hope is that we won't see a dramatic adjustment to the market, but we will be measuring that, and I'll be very curious to see if those interest rates going back up slightly are going to affect us overall. Where the market is moving, I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about specific price points. So if you are searching for a home under $250,000, we have 82 homes available for you to look at in that category in Hardin County. The average days on market is 64 days. This category moves pretty quickly. So if you've got a listing that's going to be going up, you can expect to see it go quickly as long as it's priced right and in great condition. And the reason this remains the fastest moving and most supply constrained segment is affordability pressure. This category is heavy with first-time home buyers and government-backed loan activity. As we move into the $250,000 to $400,000 range, it is the largest and healthiest segment of the local market. Demand is very steady in this area, though buyers, of course, are always selective. So we have 187 available listings in that category, and the average days on market is 73 days, slightly higher days on market, but still relatively quick on as far as those homes moving. We measure over 400,000. Keep in mind, this category does include the luxury. So 400,000 plus continues to require strong positioning, but it's still outperforming expectations, especially given current rate conditions. So there's 111 active listings over 400,000. Those days on market is 80 days. I mean, that's less than 3 months, guys, from list to close. So I'm highly encouraged by those stats. That is still performing very well. As we move into the operate other categories, but we have seen several high-end homes that have been sitting that are now going pending and even closing. If you're looking over that 800,000 for something luxury, there's 13 available homes on the market. And the average days on market is roughly about 117. Keep in mind, that's not a fair measurement just because those homes kind of play at their own pace. What you're looking for is something that fits your criteria and also something that you feel has the value there, right? The amenities and condition offer a strong comparison to your budget. So I wouldn't measure luxury on days on market. Of course, we're continuing to see some economic impact with the amount of contractors that are being brought back in to support the Ford Motor Company project in Glendale. My team has been working with multiple crews to make sure they find housing. So we're starting to see some of that money pour back into the market. We're seeing rentals just decrease. There was a large amount that were built. And so we're certainly not seeing where people can't find them or there's a lack of available inventory, but we are starting to see some of the available units that maybe people have had trouble filling up. So here's my call to action. So for buyers, opportunity still exists in homes with elevated days on market, particularly in the higher price ranges. There's still a lot of homes available. Obviously, inventory is high right now, and so there's a lot of shopping and a lot of options that can be had. For sellers, position your homes well from the gate, right? Put the extra work in to make sure the curb appeal is right, the condition is good. And my recommendation right now is to find the top value for your home and list 3 to 5% below what that top value is. You're going to see the market move faster. You're going to see more aggressive buyers due to that. So be prepared. We are seeing, especially if you're in that luxury price point, we are seeing very aggressive offers on those homes. At the end of the day, of course, I want to remind you that the housing markets are just driven less by headlines and more by local economic growth, employment stability, consumer confidence, and supply versus demand balance. And right now, here in Hardin County, we continue to show signs of a fundamentally healthy market with long-term economic support still very much in place. As always, this is market-wide. If you want something broken down to a more detailed, specific to your neighborhood, property type, or investment goals, please reach out. Me and my team would love to support you. Thank you, guys. This is Rachel with the Hardin County Housing Market Update.
Rachel's got the numbers, who's buying, who's selling, what's hot on the block. Hardin County Housing Market Update. Hey!
Yay, we get Michelle.
Hello, hello.
It's so nice to see your face. All right, well, Britton and Michelle, the experienced eaters, should we play their jingle before I go on?
Yeah, we should do it.
I get a little carried away, guys.
Rachel is music motivated.
Here we go.
I'm ready to roll over here. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, Michelle,
We did have Lois had just said, Well, he said, I think it was before the last jingle. Probably talking about yours, I think. Like the jingles. You know, we always love to hear people tell us when you like the jingles. Also had lead pest control comment saying, thank you for the info, Rachel.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for watching. All right. Well, Brittany and Michelle, we are so happy to have you, Michelle. It's nice to see your face. You guys went back to Little Charlie's, and from what I saw in the video, they did not come light. Roll it and let's walk through it.
You get it up.
Hey guys, Experienced Eater here. Mama and I are out and about on a Monday going to have some lunch. And we're going to go revisit one of our favorite spots because they have some of the best sandwiches in Hardin County.
Can you just go in there and buy a pizza by the slice?
Yes. So you go in, and they have that's their display. They put it out every day. It goes out usually by like 10:30, 10:45ish, and I think it's like $4 a slice. Maybe I think. Don't hold me to that. Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
You can go and get a slice. And I was just telling Michelle, that's like there's so much stuff there that's like I want that. It's you go in, and if you're on a budget or you're trying to stay focused. I mean, there's a lot of distractions.
Well, we were in E-Town and trying to figure out where to go eat, and we had just had pizza the previous night, and we were like, well, Little Charlie's is just so good, but we just had pizza the other night, and Britt said, well, but you know what? They have so much more than just pizza. Let's get some sandwiches, and we're like, yeah. So, I mean, the pizza selection is amazing, but I think the sandwich selection is even better.
Yeah.
All right, let's get.
And they also have pasta and a daily, a couple of specials each week, and so. Yeah, I can get in trouble in there pretty quick.
All right, we'll get this going again.
All right, guys, we got a buffalo chicken calzone, and this is a chicken parm in a garlic knot. I mean, oh man, my mouth is absolutely watering. All right, what we got there, Mama?
This is a buffalo chicken calzone. I'm a buffalo junkie. I love it. Love that calzone. The dough is great. Love that salty mozzarella. A bit of dunk in some buffalo would make it even more better. Yes, sir. That's fantastic.
All right, guys. This is the chicken parm garlic knot. It's got chicken, parm, extra sauce, and garlic and some garlic butter. I mean, what's not to like this? It's one of my favorites, so let's see how this is.
Look at that bite.
The sauce, I mean, it's just a great bite. It's crunchy, salty. That's excellent. All right, guys, this is the Reno sub. It is Italian sausage, peppers, onions, mozzarella, and Diablo sauce. And I'm just going to say my mouth's watering, and I don't even know how I'm going to get my mouth around that. But
I'm going to rename that sandwich to Rachel because that was one of the hottest things I've eaten in E-Town in a long time. Diablo sauce was like you eat it and it's like a hot belly. But I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking about, man, there's so many things that would be great on.
Oh yeah.
To some different pasta dishes and stuff like that. But it was definitely because you could get it with the Diablo sauce or with the vodka sauce. So you have either or. And if I have a chance to go regular or hot, I'm always going to go hot just to see. And that sandwich was right up your alley.
Oh my
Is that heat flavor? The heat and flavor or both? Or
Yes.
it's not, doesn't kill it or anything? It's good mix.
Now, that's one thing is I don't do just heat. It has to be, for me to do heat, it has to be flavorful heat. Yeah, if it's just hot for the sake of hot, I don't do that. But yeah, they did a great job with because it's basically a marinara sauce with crushed red pepper and some other. I think there's some Calabrian chilies and some other things in there. You got a couple of different flavor profiles for the heat, and they really layered it in very well.
Let's finish this real quick, then we can go to where we're all bigger on screen.
all right, guys, this is the Reno. I got to get big back and get
You
the
better.
punch. The Diablo sauce is legit. Probably eat the rest of this with a fork and knife.
Yeah, that's huge. And the sandwich consists of 2 halves of that monster right there. Wow.
That looks good.
Yes, and I tell you, it's really funny. Lots of times when we go in places, we really try to get a variety. And somebody one time said, "You guys eat all that food at once?" And I'm like, "No, because we try to get a good variety so that we can do a good review. And then we usually maybe eat a few bites off of each, and then we take it all home." So yeah, I was surprised when Britt ordered that big sandwich, and that was one sandwich. Both those pieces were one sandwich. So it was like, oh my gosh, she set it down on the table, and I said, "Holy cow, how are we going to eat that?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's for taking home." And we had something funny happen yesterday. Also, we went to Sam's, before we were going to go eat and do all this. So we went to Sam's, and as we're walking in, a lady came next to us, and she kind of came running up to us, and she goes, "Hey, shouldn't you guys be eating somewhere right now?" And we were like, "Yeah, we just did." And she's like, "I'll follow you guys and see y'all in the Hardin County." So I was like, wow. So, it's great that the word is getting out and people are actually watching and participating, and we welcome anybody talking to us anytime we go anywhere. But it's always fun when somebody says that they saw us on the program.
Sorry,
Yeah, what about
when the heat guy calls, you have to answer. Rachel understands all about that. So.
I do.
We do. What about that, Michelle? You were talking about that buffalo chicken calzone. What's the move? Eat it as is, or do you do the buffalo dump like you said you did in the video?
Well, you guys hear me talk on here all the time that I am all about the sauce. I like tons of sauce, tons of extra au jus, tons of extra dressing. I like that so much. So the calzone was great as it was, but it just had like a drizzle of buffalo on the top of it. And I want to like dunk every bite so that it's like just total sauce. So of course, all you have to do is ask. So I asked for an extra thing of buffalo sauce and went to town. But it is, oh man, it was really good. I would go back and get everything we had. I would get it again for sure.
Now I'm gonna tell you, my favorite bite was the chicken parm garlic knot. That was
yes.
I really it was very complete, and I liked the Reno, and I had some of the calzone. But the Reno was the sausage was sliced, and it was a fork and knife sandwich. It was kind of messy.
Yeah, you kind of started out as a sandwich, and then it was like, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work real well, and we finished it by cutting it.
Is that chicken parm? Did you say extra sauce and garlic butter, or does it normally come like that? And then is that
one was good? We had that one stock, so it was they took the garlic knot, they cut it in half, and the garlic knots are cooked in garlic butter with fresh garlic on top, really and so they took the cutlet, cut it in half, layered it, put cheese, cutlet sauce, and their sauce on top and bottom, and then they just put it together.
Can you eat that with your hands, or did you?
It was a sandwich. It was very eatable. I mean, I don't know if I would eat it in a white shirt driving down the road.
Yeah.
But it was pretty tasty.
And you did start that section, I think, with best sandwiches in Hardin County. Is that a line you open with, or is that something that Little Charlie's has earned?
That's something that I say because especially at lunchtime, I like a sandwich. Like a burger, like all those things that go with it. But hands down, I've had sandwiches at several different places, several different burgers. But you go there, and this is something Ezekiel Daraway is their manager and somebody that we're I'm pretty good friends with, and Zeke's always said hey, if you see something that we can try to make it, and see what we have. In the sandwich game is something I think that it's kind of like it's several places. There's always something on the menu that I'd call a sleeper. And their sandwiches are sleepers because people go in they see the pizza display, they see, they might see the special, the pasta or whatever, and they just get overlooked. And I mean, they do a great job. They're very creative. They come up with some great ideas. Like I had one week before last. I stopped in for lunch after I'd been out doing some errands, and it was like a chicken parm. It was a chicken cutlet, some sauce, and it had a Caesar salad. It was Caesar salad on it, and it was really neat. Really enjoyed that. And so, like I say, it's something they're creative. They express it and they use what they have and can come up with some great stuff. And the bread's super fresh and super soft. I don't know if they make it there, but it's I'm impressed.
I think all their sandwiches too. You get a very large portion. You get a good bang for your buck too.
I think that sandwich is $15.
Yeah, it's really good.
So, I mean,
Pretty good.
and that would feed both of us. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we brought half home.
Well, I certainly, when I think about Little Charlie's, I think about pizza and pizza kind of alone. So you've just opened up. I'm dying for the Reno sub now. Like I'm going. I've written it all down.
They usually change the subs on like Tuesday, Wednesday, so that may have been the tail end of it. So you might ought to, if you got to run through an appointment, you might ought to say, hey, throw one in a bag for me. And just
I might make a phone call in advance. Super cool, guys. Well, go grab one. I mean, it sounds like an amazing. I have to try it. I'm gonna make a phone call before to make sure I get the one that I want, but. You've got me hungry, and you always do. You do this to me every single week.
Even if you can't get the one that you want, I would just go get the one they've got.
Worth it.
Yeah, like I said, we've had just every one of them. I probably had 4 or 5 over the last few months, and everything has been. It's a lot of fun. The creativity and of course, you're dealing with Italian ingredients, and those flavor profiles they are very interchangeable and allow for lots of exploration.
And they're doing things for real there. Even while we were there, they were making dough, they were prepping their cheese. They were in there actually doing it. And I love that so much more than just thinking of something coming in that's already pre-made or frozen and they're just sticking it in the oven. I don't mind to pay that little bit more money for something that's real and it's good and made fresh there. And I think that's part of the reason why it's as good as it is because they're doing it right and they're doing it fresh right there. Makes all the difference.
And so the audience knows where to find them. Best Buy. They are literally, if you're staring at the front of Best Buy, right off of Dixie Highway, they are to the left. There's a small plaza there. It kind of sits in front of TJ Maxx and Ross, and to the right of Red Lobster. So it's nestled right there in that shopping center. So it's very easy to access. You want to go check them out for sure.
I think it's a little hard to get to. You got to look for it, and you got to get there. You got to, but worth it. Find it, go eat. It's good.
Yep. Got it on screen here too. 270-900-1119, 2030 North Dixie, Suite 108.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right. Well, Brittany and Michelle, thank you guys so much.
Our pleasure.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, Phil, any comments that we need to bring up on the...
Let's look. We got
our traveler Kevin Parrott just threw something out there.
Yeah, he did. About to pop that up there. Thank you, Stephen, for your comment. We got Kevin. I just returned from taking a student group to New Jersey and New York, and you all are correct. Little Charlie's, like in New York City, makes their pizza fresh in store. Love it so much, better than the chains. Thank you, Kevin.
That's awesome.
And we also have Stephen, who just said again, you just got to look at it.
Well, I think that Hardin County is a unique place. I don't know of any rural, and I still think Hardin County is rural. I think our tallest building in Radcliff's 5 stories and not much bigger in E-Town, right?
There's only one of them.
Yeah, and there's only one. But for us to be as rural a county as we are, to have the food scene that we do, to have the safety that we do, to have the infrastructure, the growth. I mean, I think we're very fortunate. And I think that's why most of us are here and we're so happy. I've been in Hardin County since 2006, and I've officially lived here longer than I have anywhere else in my life. And it's definitely, I think that's just something we had to be thankful for: the people, the community, the food. I mean, it's certainly that's why Rachel stays busy in that housing market, because I think there's people that are excited to come here.
Yep, I do. All right, guys. Well, I want to kind of close this out, and I want to start by just once again mentioning the ways you can stay connected with Hardin Local. So first, bookmark HardinLocal.com. This website, as we mentioned at the beginning, it's brand new as of last week. Articles, election interviews organized by race, every past episode, the weekly events calendar, my housing market update. It is all found there. Sign up for the email newsletter while you're there. You're not going to want to miss getting that every month or week. What's the plan for that, Phil?
In the beginning, it'll be whenever I publish, like, we publish this live, then I edit it. So by the end of the day or tomorrow, that's when you'll get it. You'll get an email every week, at least once a week. And then if we have other different types of segments and you want to subscribe to them, I'll try to make it to where you don't get the information you don't want. But like I say, there's an unsubscribe button too. So once you, like if you're getting them too much, you can hit unsubscribe. But the goal for now is for you to get one email every week that covers everything.
Awesome. Well, guys, as I mentioned before, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So follow us on your favorite platform. And of course, make sure to tell a friend. You can follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook. Guys, this is the last call. Polls close at 6 p.m. tonight. I just can't urge you enough to get out there and go let your voice be heard. I think that, a lot of people look at this as kind of a smaller election and maybe not as big of a deal, but these races impact the larger races. And so, get informed, go to HardinLocal.com, look for your ballot, look at the candidates, watch their interviews, and go take the time to vote, okay? The lines as long as you're in line by 6 p.m., you're good. They will allow you to vote. So we've got time here to get over there and get that done. Of course, if you've got a mail-in ballot and it's still sitting at home, do not mail it. You need at this point to go drop it in the clerk's office in Elizabethtown or the Radcliff branch and before 6 p.m. Okay. Of course, if you have any questions, 270-765-6762. Don't sit this one out. And this weekend, of course, I want to remind you all, I have never been and I'm super excited to go see it. The Gold Star Tribute Wall. It opens at the E-Town Nature and Veterans Park Friday. It runs through Monday morning. Go pay your respects. It's a quiet hour that matters. And one more thank you to today's sponsor, Tektel. Two things: manage cybersecurity for local businesses, MFA, email protection, backups, monitoring, plain English, no in-house IT needed. I'm telling you, these guys know what they're doing because in the past, personally called and had some support from them. So you absolutely need to reach out to them. Of course, they even have the AI cloud receptionist. So you never miss a customer call again. Tektel.net or call or text Phil at 270-505-8002. And if you have a Hardin County business and you want this sponsor's slot some Tuesday, go to HardinLocal.com. We have a form there. And of course, we'd love to have you. We'd love to give you a shout out and mention your company and the information behind it. So fill out a sponsorship form there. Of course, go over to Little Charlie's Pizza. We got to give those sandwiches a try. I'm super excited. I got to get this hot sauce. What's it called again, Britt?
Diablo sauce.
Diablo sauce. I'm so excited. I'm a nerd for anything spicy. All right. That kind of closes us out. Anything else, guys, before I finish this segment?
I got a couple shout outs.
I think this is a good comment, though, from Steven. He said he's calling us the rural metropolis. I kind of like that. I like it. Good job, Steven.
So a couple of shout outs. On Friday night, our last baby, she walks the stage, she gets her diploma. So she's great. Georgia, so shout out to Georgia for graduating from North Hardin Christian. And so we have a weekend full of activities and everything else. And then there are several other. I think there's several other graduations this weekend also, Friday and Saturday. So a lot of travel, a lot of family being here. So keep those folks in your thoughts and be understanding as they're coming and going.
Awesome. I agree. All right, guys, and to everyone watching, thank you for being part of the Hardin Local community. So today, polls close at 6 p.m. and have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you back here next Tuesday, same time, same place. Until then, support local, stay connected, enjoy everything happening right here in Hardin County. Have a great week, everyone.